London crown. How sweet is that moment? Not only for Scotland Sevens, but Scottish rugby at the home of English rugby. They've only ever won one cup ever before. That was last year here in London, and they have done it again. Brilliant final, brilliant performance from Scotland.
Yeah, back-to-back titles here in London, and when you consider they also hit the final in Paris last week, it did hurt the Scots last week with South Africa winning that one. But they came in, Rob Vickerman, with so much confidence. They played their get-out-of-jail cards in the quarters and then in the semis. But that tigerish fight to win is what's driven this team forward, but a huge lot of skill as well.
And we said before about emotion, a lot of departing players here, none of which was the coach. He's leaving. But when you harness that emotion, when you combine it with skill and confidence and the sheer belief of coming back from 21-0 at half-time against New Zealand, amazing things can happen. That man will be the proudest man on the planet. That was some effort from some team.
And he deserves so much credit, Callum McRae. He really does. This is their third cup final ever, Scotland, in the last 12 months. Unbelievable for Mark Robertson. He's leaving as well as McRae.
Yeah, what a feeling for Mark Robertson. Such a servant to the Scottish Sevens, of course, born and bred down in the Scottish borders in Melrose, and you know, for him as well to have won a silver medal in Rio. He does so much good work, Johnny, up in Scotland, taking that medal around, showing all the kids what it means to play, not only for your country, but for Team GB and this great sport that excites fans across the world.
Third in Wellington, trophy winners in Hong Kong, finalists, cup finalists in Paris, and now Scotland Sevens have their cup victory. Scott White may well be his last game as well. Lovely moment between him and Mark Robertson there. Sensational performance from Scotland, but England played their part as well with all their disruption of injuries. They will learn from this with their youngsters. A brilliant way to finish a sensational weekend of rugby. Let's get some thoughts now, pitch side.
Thanks, Johnny. I'm down here with the victorious Scotland captain, Scott Riddle. Back-to-back London Sevens champions. Describe your feelings for us right now.
Oh, you know, I'm absolutely elated. It's crazy. This sport is just something, you know, it grips you, and something like that is just extremely special. I'm just so proud of those boys over there, and you know, loads of friends and family in the stand there. They're amazing, you know, coming down, and just lost for words. Just lost for words.
Talk us through it, Scott. That first half, England through the kitchen sink at you. Did you feel that just 7 points down at half-time that you were in a pretty good place?
Yeah, no, it was a tough first half for us. We were really under the cosh, under the pump. We clung on in there, you know, a couple injuries here and there, maybe knocked England's momentum a wee bit, but you know, we just battled. We kept fighting, and took our chances. A little bit inaccurate in the first half, but you know, the scoreline, that's the only thing that matters, really.
Give us a word on some of the boys that are leaving your team. Mark Robertson, Scott White, and your coach, Callum McRae. It's been an emotional weekend, I know, for you boys, Scotland. What does it mean for you as a group to take the title here and bid those boys a fond farewell?
Yeah, you couldn't write it. You couldn't write it. Back to back, Twickenham championships. So proud of my mates, you know, Mark Robertson, Scott White. They've put so much into the jersey. It's just reward. It's absolute just reward. And you know, Kitty's been awesome with us. He's a grumpy bugger at times, but he gets the best out of us, and you know, he's part of us. He's one of us as well. But just can't speak highly enough of Mark Robertson and Scotty White.
Magnificent performance, Scott. Congratulations, London Sevens champions. Well done.
Cheers, Rupert. Thank you.
Beautiful, mate. Well done.
The unbelievable performance from Scotland. Back-to-back titles here in London. And as Scott Riddell said, you can't write it. HSBC player of the final is waiting to speak to Rupert now.
I'm down here with the HSBC player of the final, Mark Robertson. You've gone back-to-back, Mark. How's that feel?
It's a fairy tale. I think it is. I'm so proud of the boys. I'm also really proud of my GB teammates in England. They were absolutely fantastic today. Special mention to Dan Norton. What an outstanding season. And I'm sure the crowd absolutely loved watching him.
Why are you giving this game up? You're playing as better as we've ever seen you.
I'm 32 years old. I've got a bit of a sore back, sore hammies, and it's tough to give it up, but I just think for a number of reasons it's the right time.
You won an Olympic silver medal, you've won 2 London Sevens titles. You're leaving this show in a great place. When you reflect back on it, what are your feelings going to be overall?
That's a really difficult question. There's a hell of a lot of pride. You also remember a lot of the low times, the high times. Mum and Dad have supported me the whole way. My wife Alexa, it's been incredible. Yeah, tough to say goodbye.
And your mate Scott White, you're leaving with him, your old school buddy, into business together. The two of you leaving. He stepped up big this weekend too, didn't he?
He's an incredible leader. When we were 6, 7, 8 years old, we used to slide in front of his house, pretend to beat England at Twickenham. So to actually do that was an incredible feeling. But Whitey's going into a bit of coaching now. He's a great leader. You know that he knows the game so well. He's a great communicator, although he is quite hard to understand, a bit like myself, but he'll go well.
Congratulations, Scott. You are the HSBC player of the final. We have Ben Ryan here, the HSBC ambassador, to present you with your award. Congratulations, Mark Robertson.
It's an outstanding performance in the final for Mark Robertson. Back-to-back London titles. It really is the stuff that dreams are made of. And even sweeter, Scott, to do it here at Twickenham.
Yeah, very much so. I've actually heard Mark Robertson speak at my local rugby club with Sonians. He told exactly that story. He talked about his passion in the Scottish borders, about playing this great game, and he is turned into one of these wonderful ambassadors, and he does so, as I mentioned earlier, he does so much good work. And he and Scott White, as friends, as kids, and Rob Vickerman will tell you, you know, he was brilliant on the rugby field as well, and it's family out there. You live some special moments.
You do, you sometimes forget it's a job, you know, Scott, when these guys are retiring from the game. They do it with such passion and such pleasure. And when you see the likes of Robertson and White leaving, those two leaders you see in the shot there, it perhaps makes sense of the comment about it being best to leave a party when you're most enjoying it, because they have just absolutely driven this team forward. England clearly look disappointed, and rightly so. They're a champion team. They want to lift the championships.
And as you heard him say, so respectful of his GB teammates and of the fellow players around him.
Canada have picked up their bronze medals. England have picked up their silver medals, and hats off to England. It's been a superb weekend for them in their home tournament. There's 3 wins yesterday and beaten the series champions South Africa, and then coming across Canada in those semi-finals and winning. But the day, the tournament, the weekend belongs to Scotland, to the likes of Scott White, to the likes of Scott Riddell, to the likes of Mark Robertson, as they get their medals from our presentation party. Bill Beaumont, Peter Baines and Noel Quinn. For 2017, your champions of London are Scotland and Scottish rugby. For a second year in a row is in Sevens heaven, beating the old enemy at the home of English rugby. It really doesn't get much better than that. Yes, of course, South Africa are the HSBC World Rugby 7 Series title winners. But today, in this last leg, belongs to Scotland. great scenes at what has been a sensational tournament. It has been a brilliant way to finish. Northern Hemisphere semi-finals, a Northern Hemisphere final here at London. Like it was last year, Scotland beat USA here last year. They have beaten England in this year's final. And all smiles are those in blue shirts, in Scotland shirts. And to be fair, they deserve their victory over the course of the weekend. Win over Russia and Argentina early on yesterday. Lost to France, but they bounced back on day two in that quarter-final. Brilliant quarter-final, 24-21, and then against the USA, and then finish it off against England. But individually, the performance tracker of London has been the England boy, Dan Norton. Perry Baker has pushed him all the way. Sam Cross was up there as well. For the individual performer of the weekend, and the performance tracker for London is Dan Norton with that sensational try in the final. So just to confirm things up for you, South Africa, as we knew last weekend in Paris, they sealed the World Rugby 7 Series table, wrapped it up. England confirmed in second. First time since 2006 when Simon Amor was captain, now he's coach. Now he's coach in the final. We'll hear from him in a moment. And the performance tracker of the series earlier on, Dan Norton, the performance tracker of this weekend. Dan Norton in second over the overall series. Sam Cross, the Welshman, is the performance tracker winner of the series. So let's hear now from Simon Amor, who has confirmed England in second, the first time since 2006 when he was captain. Rupert.
Thanks, Johnny. Down here with Simon Amor. Simon, what was the difference in the end there?
Well, I mean, look, it was always going to be a very close run game. It always is between England and Scotland. There's always passion out here in this Twickenham stadium. They took their chances. We couldn't quite get the game going in the end. We lost a few boys that could ship the ball around. But I was so delighted with the boys' effort. They were absolutely tremendous right the way through this weekend, and losing a few key guys. They kept on scrapping and fighting. They were very, very proud of them.
Yeah, to lose Mitchell, to lose Bibby, to lose Ollie Lindsay-Haig in that first half. I mean, you're up against it, aren't you? As you say, it was a great effort having lost those guys.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what the team's about, a lot of resilience and heart and character, and it changed the way you obviously want to play the game. But can't take away the credit that goes to Scotland. They've been brilliant this weekend, as they were in Paris last weekend. I thought they played a great game and are good champions.
And England finished second, their highest finish since you captained the boys in 2006. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what's really pleasing, I guess, is that consistency to always be there or thereabouts, fighting towards the top of tournaments and finding some of the young guys coming through now. So to get second, it's ahead of what we thought we'd get this year. We were trying to think about top three, but we found a couple of young guys, and I'm really excited about the future with this group.
Bad luck in the final. Thanks, Simon.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers. Appreciate it.
Now going through the series presentation, Brett Gosper and England's very own Bill Beaumont giving the presentation for England. Finished second in the series, and full credit to them. Had a superb series, they really have. Not quite as superb as South Africa, though.
Yeah, absolutely, but you know, the likes of Dan Bibby, Tom Mitchell, Tom Bowen have added so greatly to this England team. But the one team that have been outstanding, and it's been lovely spending some time with Carl Brown, just understand the psyche within this team and the teamship that they bring and the dedication. And they've played some wonderful rugby in their 5 titles. Such a tough team to break down defensively, and they will fight to the very last minute.
And they spoke about, Neil Powell spoke about emulating New Zealand in consistency, and if there's one word to sum up South Africa this series, it has been consistency. 8 finals, 5 titles, and your HSBC World Rugby 7 Series champion for 2016, 2017 are South Africa. The Blitzboks, worthy champions.
Well, last week they were in Paris on the scene of Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise, but this team have made everything possible, not only for their coaches, but for each other and for their fans back home in South Africa. They have been truly magnificent. Well done and congratulations to the South African Blitzboks Sevens team.
And in the sun here in Twickenham, Scotland are crowned champions of London. The champions of the world in the world of sevens are South Africa. Let's hear from that winning coach then, Kitty McRae. Rupert, all yours.
Thanks, Johnny. Down here pitch side with the victorious London Sevens Scotland captain Callum McRae. Callum, we never see a huge amount of emotion from you pitch side, but at the end of that one, there was a lot of hugging going on.
I was going to say, I don't know about that. I think you must miss the bits when I'm going a bit daft or jumping up and down, but no, obviously I'm very, very pleased with the effort that the boys have put in this week. Obviously learning from last week to have a poor final in the last one against South Africa last week. We didn't really give ourselves an opportunity, whereas this week we dusted ourselves off, came back, and I think it was just a different mindset this week going in. As holders, our sort of view is it's ours to give away, so the boys obviously showed, especially with the cover tackle in the corner. I thought that was a real game changer where it changed the flow of the game, and obviously we managed to get it across the line.
Callum, we always talk about fairy tale moments. You had a chance to celebrate the journey that you've been on with this team. How does that feel? Because everybody talks about it, and you want to finish on top, but there are a lot of hugs there of guys who've spent a lot of time in the change rooms, in dark places where they've lost games and come back and set goals, etc. It must feel fantastic to be part of that.
Well, just the series on the whole. I think the standard of the competition, if you're not there and you're medal every single game now, you all get turned over. There's been some tough times over the last sort of 2 to 3 years. We have been building, but the key thing from last season, obviously we won it last year. There's a lot of people who think that's obviously, it could be by chance. So our big focus this year was to come back it up, go in a strong performance in Dubai to show that it wasn't obviously by chance. We hit a rough patch during the middle of the season with injuries. James Johnson, Gavin Lowe, Nick McLennan. It's tough for those guys not being here, but they'll be back next season, and it's just really nice that we've hit form again at the right time, and a massive effort from a lot of the guys who've come in and done their bit.
Callum, you're leaving the team, along with Mark Robertson and Scott White. You're heading off to Edinburgh to coach there. I mean, in a way, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Because you guys are running hot right now. You've really, really peaked.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, I mean, a few months ago when I was looking at my career and the thought about it, my plan was to come into the Sevens, get lead coach experience with a view to potentially going back. But there was a tough time a couple of months ago where you're in this environment. It's so special. You see how hard all the teams work. There's a real camaraderie between all the teams and the staff, and that is a holding point. But ultimately, I've got a new challenge at Edinburgh, which I'm hugely looking forward to. There's a good group of players there, and we're looking forward to the new challenge.
Well, you go out in the best possible way. Back-to-back London Sevens champions. Congratulations, Cam. All the best for the future.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Cheers, mate. Well done. We're joined here by Dan Norton. Dan, commiserations. I know you wanted something better than that in that one. What are the feelings now? Could you have done any more in that final?
Yeah, I think we'll come away and we'll look at that, and I think we missed a few opportunities, but at the same time, on the whole, I think we've grafted so hard this weekend, not only this weekend, the whole season, to be able to come away with second place on a whole is amazing for the programme and maybe for each one of us here and the guys in the stand as well.
You broke the world try-scoring record this season in Hong Kong. A wonderful moment for you personally. You seem to be playing as well as we've ever seen you. How do you keep going?
Yeah, I think it's the whole program, the whole ethos we're trying to grow as England Sevens. You know, we're striving to get better. You know, there's amazing challenges for the young guys. You know, keeping me pretty young and me and Rodwell pretty young. But at the same time, the hunger for the game. It's off the back of the Olympics. It's the game's in an amazing place, and it's enjoyable to go around the world playing a sport we all love.
Okay, Dan, well, you are the player of the tournament, so congratulations on that. Commiserations, you didn't get the result in the cup final you wanted, but we'll see you back on the series next year, no doubt. Commonwealth Games, World Cup around the corner.
Yeah. Just a special thank you for all the guys watching at home. Obviously, I know the hours are pretty hard at sometimes 2, 3 in the morning watching us and you know, giving us support from afar. But yeah, it's all welcomed, and it's all the support that we get there that's started us on to be better on the pitch. So thank you very much.
We love watching you play. Congratulations, commiserations on the cup final, but well played this season. Cheers, Dan.
Cheers, thank you.
I'll take that off you. Well done, mate.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Final thoughts, Bob Skinstad?
Well, I tell you what, to the victor the spoils. Well done to Scotland. Unfortunate for England, but wow, didn't they do exceptionally well, even to get there. You know, they had Dan Norton at his ultimate best. It was an inside out that, you know, stepped one of the Scottish players right on his backside. The crowd were on their feet, but that Scottish team, for me, with so many senior players leaving, they're legends of the series. They put it together, and it was a great way to send them on their way. The other teams are building. There's a World Cup year next year. This series has been outstanding and a crackerjack finish.
It has been a crackerjack finish. South Africa are the runaway series champions. They've been absolutely brilliant all season long, but today belongs to Scotland. Back-to-back London Sevens champions. It's been a marvellous series from all of us here, from the whole broadcast team. We thank you for watching, and we will see you in Dubai in December. It's a World Cup year as well. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.